about a song? Are you the type of artist who inspiration strikes and you just write a song right then and there? Do you have a set process?
It's always different for me. I describe myself as like scatterbrained when I write, and I never have a specific way of doing things. I keep ideas a lot in my phone, and just I'll find a napkin or something and write stuff down just if I get a burst of inspiration. But it's very rare that I sit down and just like a whole song just comes out. I kind of write in like sections and pieces, so I mean I could just have like a chorus, and then that chorus will sit for weeks and I never finish it, and then it just kind of pieces itself together. So I think I'm a little more of like a slow writer, but then there's also songs like Unbreakable Smile happened really fast. That was like an hour and the song was done. So I'm kind of just all over the place.
So Unbreakable Smile, I know there's a bit of a story about that, about why you wrote it so quickly. It has such a don't give up on yourself kind of vibe. Can you tell us that story?
Yeah, so Unbreakable Smile happened at a really interesting time. I had just gotten off my tour for my last EP, Forward, and I knew the next step would be to put out an album. I hoped I didn't have to put out just like these EPs all my life. I was like, okay, I think it's time to put out an album. So I was just in this weird place where I didn't know what I was even going to say yet, or how, what it would sound like, the album, and I had all these eyes on me from the buzz from the EPs and stuff, so people were kind of like, what's she going to do next, And so I remember having a meeting with my team, and up until that point I had been playing it kind of safe, I think, with just my songs, and just the way I was approaching everything was just very kind of like here I am. And so I remember in that meeting, they were starting to tell me just things that they had heard in the industry, like, we think she's too plain and she's too boring. Like, what else does she have to offer? And there's no like edge or grit. Like she's a little too nice and sweet. And I was like, thanks. but no, I mean, I was acting like it didn't affect me at all. And then I went home that night, and sure enough, just all these lyrics just started flowing out of me like it was nothing. And I remember feeling like I'd been holding all that stuff in for so long, since, however long, just being kind of told no for so long and having all these doubts, and I kind of just like pressed those feelings down and didn't ever sing about them. So after I wrote Unbreakable Smile, I remember feeling like this weight was just lifted, and after that, that was the first song I wrote for the album too, so the whole album just has this new layer of songwriting that I feel like I unlocked for myself, and I just had more confidence going into those writing sessions.
So one of the lyrics that I think really stands out from Unbreakable Smile is maybe I can sell out shows without taking off my clothes. That's a great message for all your young kids here.
Oh man, that lyric stems from another interesting story. When I was about 13, maybe 12 or 13, and some people know, but I was signed when I was 12, and kind of just thrown into the whole business side of things, not knowing what was going on. I didn't even know who I was yet as a person, let alone like an artist. So I was just working with every single person you could think of, just kind of going through the motions, letting them tell me what to sound like, and because I didn't know how it went down. And I remember walking into a meeting, and with some people who were pretty high up at the record label and stuff, and they're playing like these music videos of other artists who are kind of like more revealing with their clothing choices. And I remember being so confused. Like I'm only 13. I'm walking into this kind of like, well, like why are you playing these videos? Like, do you want me to look like that, or am I supposed to? Is this what you're supposed to do to make it? Like, are you trying to tell me something? All these thoughts were going through my head, and I remember that was the moment when I remember thinking like this, me and my family too. I'm so thankful they had my back through all of it, but it was just one of those moments where, okay, this doesn't feel right. Like, we need to take a step back and really see what's going on here and not just rush into things, because it just didn't feel right. So I think with that, where that line comes from is kind of looking back on that moment and realizing how far I've made it without compromising myself or my beliefs or what I wear. Like I could still do sold out shows without changing anything about myself. So I think that's where that line.
Yes.